And welcome to Forever Sorting with Kevin Hinkle, the special BrickFair edition. As always, I can't do this without Kevin A. Hinkle. Say hello, Kevin.
Hello. Hello, Bricksmith. Hello, Internet.
Glad to have you and getting ready for BrickFair. I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but Kevin is on a tear across America and is going to as many cons as he possibly can this year, and he's doing great. Before we get started, Kevin, where can these fine folks find you when they're not on my channel?
Yes. Well, if you do have an interest in following me, which that would be super awesome if you do, I'm on pretty much everything. So if you're here on YouTube, I do have a YouTube channel. If you wish to subscribe to it, there's a few old movies on it.
They're great.
They're wonderful. I think they're 7 years old. But yeah, I have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Flickr, DeviantArt, all those things. Mr. Kevin Hinkle is my username. And I also have website, kevinahinkle.com. If you have any interest in following my art, I'm a freelance artist by trade, by education. So I have stuff there as well.
Wonderful. I guess, and we're talking BrickFair tonight, but yeah. I want to know, and this is, of course, I like to hit Kevin with questions that he doesn't know are coming. Kevin, my first question for you is what were the shows this year you have been through to already?
Sure. So the year started off with an interesting one.
Oh yeah.
So in January of this year, I went to Bricks at Sea.
Ooh.
Which was a Lego event on a cruise ship.
I'm on a boat.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, actually. So I've actually never been on a cruise before in my life. So that was my first cruise, and it was actually kind of fun for my first cruise to be with a bunch of Lego people. That was kind of cool. So that was that took out of Miami. So I was in the state of Florida in January for a brief period of time. But yeah, that was January, and that was also the first Bricks at Sea, and it was deemed a success. So there is already plans for next year if anyone does want to do that. Bricks at Sea has a Facebook page, and I think bricksatsea.com, but it probably redirects to the Facebook page.
Oh, I see.
But if you're interested, you can. So January, I was on a boat. And we went to it was a 5-day cruise. So we actually did
nice.
We went to Costa Maya and Cozumel in Mexico, and then the other days were on the water. They were also showing the Lego Ninjago movie on the boat, which was kind of they probably did not plan that for us. But
now, was it just A Falls, or were there other people on the boat?
Oh heavens, no! We were on the Independence of the Seas, which is apparently, I think, the second largest Royal Caribbean cruise ship in the world. So it was like being on a floating Death Star. It's crazy. So in terms of AFOLs, I think there was maybe 15 of us.
Oh wow!
But from a couple, a bunch of different places. We even had a couple Canadian AFOLs that flew all the way down and joined, which was awesome. Andrew, whom you met in Philly, Andrew came along. So
nice. Hi, Andrew. I'm Bricksmith. Nice to meet you.
Still meeting you. Still meeting.
Yeah.
Hashtag still meeting Bricksmith.
Yeah, we do that. I go over his live stream and I say, "Hi, Andrew. I'm Bricksmith. Nice to meet you."
Yeah, I think he just did one a couple days ago. He's always doing so. But so yeah, not too many, but enough that it was fun and you could kind of separate and then come together and separate and come. And that's kind of how the event worked. Is that they had some very light programming where it's like, we'll do a speed build tonight, but the rest of the day is yours. And it's
I see.
There's so many things you can do that it's not even, but we would get together like, hey, let 6 of us, let's go watch the ice skating show. Stuff like that. So
nice.
I thought it was a lot of fun.
I mean, it sounds like fun. I mean, I could do it. I'd do it. No, I don't. Yeah. So,
so did that. That happened.
Yeah. So that was January.
That was in January, and that is also Todd Webb, who owns BrickFair, was actually on that as well.
Nice.
And so, we had a lot of conversations about the future of BrickFair and future in my involvement of BrickFair.
Oh yes.
Late night discussions over lobster on a cruise ship. And so we had agreed that I would help him at BrickFair, Alabama. And so that was also kind of the end of January, beginning of February, Martin Luther King weekend.
Right.
And so pretty quickly after the boat, I went to Birmingham, Alabama for BrickFair. And that was also a lot of fun. That was my first time to go to a Lego fan event in a purely kind of logistical operations, capacity. Like, I'm here to set this up, I'm here to run it, I'm here to help, and I'm here to tear it down, and then I go home. And so that was a new BrickFair experience for me.
Yeah, imagine so. Now that was your baby. Is that what you're telling me right now? Is that what you're telling us? Because I'm not sure I'm privy to this full on information here. A little birdie told me a secret one time, but I wasn't sure. I knew for sure that was what was happening. Kevin A. Hinkle was running BrickFair, Alabama.
I would definitely not say running it.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, you could say I was running a portion of it.
Okay. Now, I got to know, I'm going to cut you off because I am one state away from Alabama. Are you going to do it again next year?
Yeah. I'll definitely.
Oh, so you're telling me I have to be there?
More than likely, I will be there again.
Okay. Well, then more than likely, and you heard it here, first, folks. Me and Mr. Hinkle will be there
together. Maybe do one of our sessions like together in the same.
I don't know.
Let's not set the bar. Let's not set the bar.
I don't know if they could handle it. I mean, Brick and Nick did a great job. I don't know.
We don't necessarily need to rebuild an entire recording studio out of Duplo bricks.
There's that.
But so
okay.
More than likely I'll be there. But yeah, so at that event, I mean, Todd was definitely still in charge, but I was.
Of course, Todd's in charge.
Yeah, he's the man. He's in charge. But I was, definitely there to help as needed. Not alone, but not as big of a team that I guess. Well, maybe, I mean, depending on how much people know about the behind the scenes stuff, I was a little surprised at how small the team was. Because I think, me and Todd aside, there was only another 4 people, and then we were the BrickFair crew. So, so that event, I was actually there for an entire week. So even though the event was only midday Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was there Monday through Monday.
Okay. Now that event, I've never been to it. Were there displayers and vendors, and then were there AFOL games or no?
There are, yeah. So BrickFair, Alabama. Let me take a step back. So BrickFair is kind of like a family of events. Similar to like a Brick Universe, similar to like a BrickFest Live. So there's multiple locations.
Right.
Virginia is like the flagship. So that is like the one that started it all, the first location, the biggest, the one that's been running the longest. After Virginia had settled in for many years, Alabama was the next location to be added. Okay. So Alabama has got a few years under its belt, maybe 4 or 5 at this point. So it has been steadily growing. I'm currently trying to look on the site if I can give you some information.
We can see that in your glasses. We can see that you're working on your internet. Your pages are changing and your eyes are moving. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. No, we need this.
But yeah, there was definitely members of the community there displaying, exhibiting. See, it's going to show me next year's. So, but yeah, I think if I remember the numbers, there was somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 150, maybe 200 exhibitors, AFOLs, TFOLs.
Okay.
A nice little representation of the local lugs was there. A couple people travel from a little bit further distances, of course. And then you have like your BrickFair regulars that will go to every BrickFair no matter where it goes. It just
good for them. I tell you what, man, I don't mind going to different shows, but I firmly swear by the fact that people, if you have your show, you need to make your show.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's got like that.
Expect that. Huh?
That, right? Like your con. Like that's your con.
Yeah.
And it's hard because see, like my con, I've missed way too much. And so my con is Brick Fiesta.
Of course it is. And nothing better than Texas, baby.
And I failed miserably in attending my con because I've only been to a handful of them. It's been running since 2011. That was the first year, and I've only been to it 4 times, I think.
You're over 50%. That's pretty decent. I
Yeah,
respect, you know.
they're going back
Mine,
to.
again, I fail mine as well. I've only been 2 years, and it's been open and going for I think 4 or 5.
Yeah, yeah. Which one's yours?
Of course, mine's Philly BrickFest.
Okay, I mean, I assumed. But
Yeah,
then again, it's like people that know you're in Florida. It's kind of an odd. Like my home con is up there, and
yeah. Well, see, that's the difference between an AFOL and a YouTuber AFOL.
okay, that's fine. That's fair. That's
Chad Collins sent down to us by God himself to run a YouTube channel and then decide to make his own con. You gotta go where the family is.
the pieces come together.
That's it, baby.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, so let's see. So on a boat, Birmingham, Alabama, and then after that, I guess there was Chicago.
Now.
No, Philly happened actually.
Oh,
God, see how much time has already passed.
I know. It hasn't
Philly,
moved at all.
Philly Brickfest. That was April, right? April.
Yeah.
So that was the next one, and that one was fun because I can drive to it, and I like any events I can drive to because it's just it's nice.
And none of the events were as cool without me, so whatever.
Right. And that one actually was. I had been looking forward to going back to that event for a while because I had only been year one. That was the only time I had gone, which is interesting because, I mean, I went year one, and year one it was incredibly successful.
Sure.
Wow, look, it's year one. There's I don't remember the numbers. I think maybe it was 75 AFOLs, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a little more than what, but I mean, it was full. Area was full. People had setups, and then there was like 20,000 people coming through the door. There was lines wrapped around the building. And I'm like, man. And I noticed that like logistically and operationally, it was really well done. I was like, there's no like hiccups. I was like, wow, this is awesome. But then I never went back again. Not because I chose not to. It just didn't happen.
I understand.
So I had been looking forward to getting back.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, I'd like to get back and see just exactly what's happened to it. And then that's when I noticed that this is definitely the hive of Lego YouTubers. That I was like, wow. And it's just the thing that I found personally in a loving way amusing was the number of people live streaming at any given time at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Where you have one person live streaming and walking by another person live streaming, and they're both in the stream at the same time, or somebody would have like the equipment. Where like you have the stabilization and stuff like that, and they would bump into someone else with the equipment because they're all. I mean, I'm just like, what is happening?
I do feel like it was represented on the internet quite well. You don't it's not the same as being there, but it is for that con. For Philly, you really get to feel a lot of the experience.
There's a lot of sharing.
There's a lot of sharing.
And I also, I definitely have to call out the fact that first opening ceremonies, having a Discovery Center where they just like rented out the Discovery Center was kind of amazing. I was like, wow, this is pretty phenomenal.
I was a fan of the free beer as well.
That was just saying, it was good stuff there.
That
was fun. So yeah, Philly happened in April. Then it was Chicago. Pretty sure April, May. Yeah, nothing happened in May. Wow. So yeah, Brickworld in Chicago in June. That was Father's Day weekend. And Brickworld is always overwhelming because it's great. It's amazing. But there's just so many people. And, I was there again for pretty much a week. Right. And, you're sitting there that last day going, oh, hey, where have you been this whole week? I haven't talked to you. And it's like, I was right there.
I was in the next trunk. No.
So it's, always that happened. Always the criticisms of these large events is that you lose the intimacy, and I get that, but I also don't care. It's like you can still, it's how you choose to prioritize your time.
Yeah.
You of course can't talk to everybody, and you just accept it. And so you do what you can. And so I personally love that there's an event that I can go to that I'm like, let me see who's going, and I bring up the attendees list, and I'm like, oh, 1,008 of my closest friends are going, and it's just like you can. It's like a buffet. You can choose who you. I'm like, oh, I want to talk to this person. It's just I think it's amazing. Do I get to talk to everybody as much as I want to? No, absolutely not. Nobody does. But I don't think that's a fair criticism. It's just is what it is.
I honestly, and I tell you, I found. Here's what I found. I got to Philly, and I love the people that I haven't. I got to connect with some friends and get face to face time and all that. But I found myself gravitating right back to Jamie.
Yep.
As far I was like, oh, I literally went out to eat lunch one day with just Jamie and Sam, his wife.
Mm-hmm.
That's and I'm like, and I'm sure the same could be said about you and Andrew and Dan.
Yeah. Like there's certain people that you'll just always kind of default to.
Yeah.
That happens for sure. For sure. So, but yeah, it's good though. It's definitely, it's another one of those big ones. It's one of the ones, one of the meccas.
Yes.
But yeah, and then after that, I mean, we're at BrickFair, Virginia here next week or this week, tomorrow. What am I talking about? It's tomorrow. And then I think I don't have any more plans this year.
Is that it then?
I mean, that could change.
But I don't let me ask you this. Are there any more? See, I don't keep up with the con scene as much as you do. Are there any more the rest of this year?
There are. So I think just last weekend or maybe the weekend before was Bricks by the Bay, which is in like the San Francisco area. Mm-hmm. That's another big one. It's another big one. But that's already concluded.
I think I knew about that one.
I would say
cross country's too far for you.
What's that?
Cross country's too far for you.
Yeah, it's expensive, and you gotta fly all the way across, The biggest one that is yet to happen this year is BrickCon. That's the next big one, and that doesn't happen until October.
Never. That's kind of. I'm
kidding. So yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. And then yeah, there's what else is happening the rest of this year? There might not be too many other bigger ones. I think there's a couple smaller ones I'm forgetting about.
Like Brick Slopes?
No, that already happened. Brick Slope, that's in the Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
That happened already. Brick Fiesta already happened. That was when we had that other stream that Joshua Hanlon jumped on from Brick Fiesta.
Oh, yeah. So it's
like brick, the summertime is when a lot happened. Like the whole, because kids are out of school and people want to capitalize on that. So a lot of cons happen during the summer. I think that might be the only really kind of notable one that's left.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that being said, so we've made it through the year. That's a lot of cons, and that's a lot of work you've been doing. You've been doing a lot of grinding. I'm very proud about that. Also, he's what are you officially, a graphic designer? Is that what you are, or what?
I'm a lot of things, but I have in one capacity, I've been BrickFair's graphic designer.
Oh, okay. So everything goes back to BrickFair. You and Todd must be like closer than you and me.
It all started with that lobster dinner on the boat. I'm telling you.
I'm talking about it. Yeah. Great choices and decisions have been made over lobster.
Right. But yeah, just because since it's the special BrickFair episode, I wanted to bring it back. But yeah, I am a graphic designer and I do graphics for lots of people. But Todd did hire me to do BrickFair.
Okay.
So my first work was at Alabama, and it wasn't a lot, but I cleaned up his logo. So the original logo, I didn't change it vastly, but so the original BrickFair logo is an exact outline of Washington D.C. Right. So it's the exact outline of the area, and then he kind of superimposed some bricks, some Lego bricks on it. And one of the first things you notice is that it's not a really helpful file when you're trying to do stuff with it, because it's not vectorized, which is an art term. Like, it's pixelated, so you can't scale it up or down. Like, it's kind of like, it's cool, but it's a useless file. You're like, I can't do anything with it.
Thanks, Todd.
Yeah, and when I remember, I was like, Todd, why I can't do anything with this picture? He goes, oh, it's because it's a photograph I took. So like, I guess that once upon a time, many years ago, he had real Lego pieces in front of him and like the configuration, and he took a picture and then using Photoshop or whatever program is when he like erased it into the shape of.
Did he use paint? Was it paint? Was it paint? MS?
Could have been. He didn't mention the exact program, but I mean, hey, he did a good job for what it was. But I mean, it's kind of useless now. And so I was like, well, you have a nice thing. And I told him, I said, of course, decision is his. But I said, I think if I had to give you a suggestion, I said I would probably tweak the logo and kind of ditch the DC outline thing, because everybody who's new to your event has no clue what that means.
Sure.
I get that that's the roots because that's where it started and it makes sense. But like, I remember over the years going to BrickFair time and time again, because he gets tons of new people every year and nobody gets the logo. Like, I don't understand. The logo looks like broken pieces and I don't get it.
Right.
I said, just tweak it. And he had already had a mini trophy, like a mini BrickFair trophy.
Mm-hmm.
That was like really, really small that you could buy. And it was for his, I think it was, you could buy it for like $3 and the money went to the charity that they support.
Nice.
So it wasn't like you won it, but you could buy it. And because it was so small, someone had made the logo with like just 2x2 corner plate and a 1x2. And I said, man, just make that your logo, because it's clean. It's regular pieces. People can build it. And it's already, you're kind of already using it, just
right.
not an official. And so like, that was the first thing I did. I said, I'm going to clean up your logo for you. I'm going to give you a vector file that you can use to scale up as big or small as you want, anywhere you want it. And so I did. And so that's when all the like BrickFair social media accounts all changed and it had the other logo on it, or my logo on it now.
Nice.
And then the only other thing I did with it is I designed the program cover for the Alabama event, which I actually have out. I can grab it real quick.
Oh, I love it. Yes. So Kevin's going to step away from the camera because he wasn't prepared for this, because this went down. This is definitely went to a different angle than I think either one of us were planning, but it's still cool because what are we talking about, Kevin?
BrickFair.
There it is.
And what do we love? We love tangents.
We do. We love a tangent.
This is the official souvenir program, as it says right there on the bottom.
Build that.
And see, this is for Birmingham, Alabama, February of this year. So I designed the cover of the program. I didn't design anything inside of this.
Okay.
Just the cover.
Yep.
So you can see that I took his logo and I just cleaned it up just enough.
I dig it.
So that was my only graphic design work for the Alabama event.
Nice.
That has been dialed up to 11 for Virginia.
Ooh, okay.
So over the last several weeks, I've had a lot of graphic design projects for Virginia, including a redesign of all the signage. And that's been kind of cool. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing my work like printed out on banners and things. I think that's kind of cool. So everything from like this way's the cash line to that way's the prepaid ticket line to exit, entrance, no strollers, like all of these things were signs that I made. We also designed a BrickFair mascot. So BrickFair never had a mascot.
I'm a big fan of the Brick Bot over there at Philly BrickFest.
And that's like, that's good stuff. Like that's grade A branding right there.
Sure is.
And yeah, I mean, I would say probably at this stage, that's probably out of all the cons, that one's like the most recognizable one. Like people get that's the BrickFest Live Brick Bot.
Yeah, that's our guy.
Because the other ones, like you don't really remember. Like Brickworld has a mascot. It's like a R2D2-ish kind of robot that uses the plates.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's neat.
Yeah.
But BrickFair had none. So BrickFair now has a mascot,
nice.
Which is kind of cool. It also plays on the whole Lego pieces kind of thing, and also plays into the fact that it's a fair. So, talking a little bit like maybe a ringmaster of a circus of some kind.
Oh, I'm so excited. I need to see it, and I want one.
I'm feeling it. So he is designed. He's done. He's being printed on banners and signs and stuff like that. At this exact point in time, little secret, it's been seeded out just a little bit here and there, not on purpose.
Uh-oh.
But so in one example, BrickFair Virginia, actually, maybe all the BrickFair, all the locations for BrickFair now. One of the perks of registering is that you can upload any image you want into the BrickFair website, and you'll get it printed onto a 2x4 tile in your goodie bag. So that's super awesome. That's something, you can do that outside of an event by going to a customizer like Eclipse Graphics or Citizen Brick or, a bunch of others. But usually it's like a little bit more expensive. It's a one-off,
Yeah.
But BrickFair has an arrangement with Eclipse Graphics that everybody who registers will get a thing printed on a 2x4 tile, which is awesome. You can put whatever you want. Like, you could literally put whatever you want on an image, and it'll be printed and put in your bag. And of course, it does have on the website, like, please don't make us have moderators. It's like please be sensible. But so some people don't. Like, they register, and it says now upload whatever image you want printed, and they never upload anything.
Oh.
So Victor at Eclipse has a history of kind of finding some default imagery, so that if you don't upload, he'll just throw in the default stuff. So this year, the default is the mascot. So he already has posted some images on his social saying, like, printing up the BrickFair avatars, and you can see the mascot in a lot of his pictures. It's not being called out as, look, this is BrickFair's new mat. Like, it's just not overly apparent.
I love it. So
that has happened, which is okay. No one has really said anything yet or called it out at all.
Right.
And then also on the map, so BrickFair has the map already on the website, and if you go to the map, we designed a new, like, huge banner that you can stand in front of the mascot and take a picture with him.
Oh,
that's on the map. So there's this big image of, like, this mascot, and again, no one's been like, "What the heck is that thing on the map?" But yeah, so new mascot, and that'll be printed out on some stuff. So I'm actually really excited. I think this will be like the largest items in real life that my work has been printed on. So that's kind of
excellent. Excellent.
So that's cool. That's fun.
That's cool. That's cool. Now, I gotta know: Are you gonna show? Are you gonna display?
I am gonna display. So because I can drive, which makes a huge difference.
Oh, of course.
I'm taking everything I have assembled. So some of those you got to see because you were at Philly, so you've seen. Actually, what I'm taking to BrickFair Virginia is the exact same thing I took to Philly because I could drive to that one too.
Right.
So I've got my big Super Mario Brothers build, which is about, got to hold it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both of my Pokemon trainers, taking them with me. The Earthbound characters, that other game that nobody knows, those guys are going with me.
Is that the little guys?
Yeah, the four little guys.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
What made it all worth it to me?
What?
One guy at Philly, and he was a AFL. I don't remember his name because I didn't speak to him too much. But during setup time, he came over to me, and he goes, "Dude, your Earthbound characters, dope as hell." And I was like, he was the only one the whole event that even knew he knew what game they were from.
Nice.
I was like, I did it for that guy. That's the guy.
Yes. Yeah, well, it wasn't during little children. No, it was for that guy.
It was for him. It was for whoever. What's funny is that most people know Super Smash Brothers, which is a fighting game on every Nintendo platform since Nintendo 64.
Right.
And there's been a character in every single version, which is Ness. Little boy with a baseball cap and a baseball bat. And most people have no clue where he's from. He's just a random. He's got, telekinetic powers, and he fights Super Mario and a bunch of other characters. And so Ness, his name is Ness. He's from that game.
Oh.
So almost every kid will go, "There's Ness from Super Smash Brothers," but they don't have any clue who the rest. Like, I'm like, yeah, but he's not from Super Smash Brothers. He's from Earthbound. And so, but yeah, that's another
good stuff.
That's a fun public hour thing.
Yeah. Well, I think we should just do a whole episode on Ness and his friends.
Nice. I love it. Yeah, so all the things I have built, they're all coming with me.
Okay.
So, they've already been packed up. I packed them up today. Today was all pack day. I packed all day today. So they're ready to go. and that should be good. It should be good. So those are all coming with me. The only thing that is not coming with me from Philly is my little tiny Fort Legorado. If you remember my little micro set.
Oh, right. I do remember that.
Because I took it apart. So I was like, yeah, it's done. It did a thing. It's over.
It's cool. Yeah, it happens.
Right. I don't think you can't keep everything together forever. It's
yeah,
bad.
I'm in the middle of a full blown tear down over here.
Yeah. But from the ashes, shall rise.
Caw.
That's like a crow.
Hey, whatever. You say crow, I say tomato. Right.
It's a crow-mato.
Crow-mato. So being weird. So how many have you gone to, and in what type of aspect, or what type? Was it work related? Was it fan, just being a fan? Huh?
Like what capacity?
There you go. That's the word.
What role were you in? I guess.
Yeah, that's
so, yeah. So BrickFair, my first BrickFair ever was actually BrickFair Alabama.
Okay.
That was my first, and that was in 2012. So actually, even to go further back.
Please do, yeah.
My first Lego fan organized event ever was Brick Fiesta in Austin, Texas. That was my first one ever.
Okay.
And not only was it my first Lego fan event to ever attend, it was my first Lego fan event to attend as a Lego community manager. So it was like the trifecta of firsts. It was like my first time to be at a fan event, my first time to see Lego fans in that kind of environment where they're all just super jazzed and but also in a whole different side, it was my first time that I'm having to work and represent a national toy company to this audience of people. So I'm actually quite terrified, to be honest, because all of it at once was like a lot. I was like, this is really cool, but I don't feel like I should say anything because people are going to quote me, which I found out was a thing. Like, you open your mouth and it's a quote, and it's on a website now.
Kevin Hinkle said.
So many times. So that was my first event. And the only reason that happened is because I got the job to join the Lego community team in 2011. And I was living in Austin at the time because I was working at the Lego store in Austin, which was my hometown. And I needed to move to Connecticut. And my lease wasn't up for another 2 months. And because Lego did not offer any relocation assistance at all, I said, I would prefer not to spend an extra $2,000 to break my own lease. So can I please let it? And they agreed. So just so happens that there was a Lego fan event in my area. So my boss flew from Infield to meet me in Austin, and we went to the event together. I would have gone to BrickFair, Virginia that year, but the same weekend it was happening, I was literally driving my U-Haul to Connecticut. So it wouldn't have happened. So my first BrickFair was the next year in BrickFair, Alabama, in Martin Luther King weekend.
Okay.
So that was my first one. And so that year they only had the two. And so I did the Alabama event in January and then the Virginia event in August. And then the next year they added another event, which was the New England one. So then I went to all three the next year.
Sure.
And then the next year they added another one. They added the New Jersey. So I went to all four of those the next year. So I went to
good grief. Yeah.
Yeah. And that year, if my math is correct, that was 2013.
Okay.
And that was the last year that there was no restrictions on where, as a community manager, I could spend my travel budget. So up to that point, if there was a Lego convention of any size, really, I went to it. Nice. So like that year was the last year that it was kind of untethered, if you will. And I do remember that I went to 13 shows that year. And then that year, it was really funny. I mean, these are definitely things we'll get to in our normal programming.
Our forever sorting.
But I do remember that year I was like just exhausted, and I've been on the road more than I've been at the office, and I was totally falling behind on everything.
Yeah, imagine so.
And I brought up the concern to my leadership in the hopes that they'd say, "You're right, you need like some extra help, and we'll divide and conquer." And instead, I totally got not what I wanted. And they were like, "Oh, that is a shame. So you should go to less next year." And I was like, "No, that's not the right answer. I'm not saying the community needs less representation. I'm saying
they need more help."
Yeah. The next year, which was 2014, which was the year of the Lego Movie, where I was finally, from that year on, I was given the rule of 6. I can't go to more than 6 events in a year. And so that's when, after that, I had to start picking and choosing.
That's terrible.
That's very difficult to do. Because, I mean, there's a solid reason to go to all of them. Especially when it's your job to talk to fans and engage with them and answer their questions. So that's why, due to the restrictions on me, that's why I never went back to Philly. That's why I missed a couple BrickFairs, the smaller BrickFairs, because I prioritized the Virginia event over the New Jersey one and over the Alabama one. Because I was like, well,
that makes sense.
Do I go to the one with 100 fans or the one with 1,000 fans? Like, probably the 1,000 fans.
Absolutely.
So I can't tell you. I mean, I could look through my Brick badges to tell you how many I've been to, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
But I've been to a lot. Been to a lot of them. Not more than some other people. I believe, from what Todd told me, there are only 3 people, including himself, that have been to every single Brick Fair that has ever happened.
Wow.
One of those is Andrew Boltop, who you have met.
Not Andrew.
He has been to every single Brick Fair that's ever happened.
Wow.
And another one is this guy named Tony, and he's got a epic beard. His beard is epic level. But he doesn't. I mean, the only events he goes to is Brick World Chicago, and then all the Brick Fairs. So he doesn't really go to any other event. But he's like Todd's right-hand man. He is the second in command. But it was kind of fun because when I was in Alabama, learning a little bit more about the behind the scenes, that's when we were all together in that setting. He's like, yeah, the 3 of us have been to every Brick Fair from the beginning, and we're the only ones.
Wow. Like, every one, huh?
Every single one since the first. So pretty wild.
That is awesome.
It's a prestigious club.
Yeah.
Very prestigious. I'm not in that club.
Yeah, I'm never been. I will say that BrickFair was the first con I'd ever heard about.
Okay, that was like you've never heard of a thing. That's just the first name you heard of, and
that was the first one, and it was Kelly and Bubba Nickerson up there in New York. They went to BrickFair 2013, and that's when I realized it was a thing.
Yeah,
and I was like, wait, people go hang out together?
Hold on. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
And the whole story of it, because I was actually, while I was packing and stuff, I put on a really old, it's so old at this point, but an old podcast where Beyond the Brick interviewed Todd about the history of BrickFair and how did it come to be. And I've heard it before, but it came up in one of those recommended videos or whatever.
Nice.
And the story is kind of fascinating, but just to give you the cliff note version is, in the Washington D.C. area, there used to be BrickFest, the first BrickFest.
Right.
Because that's one of the big controversies is that there's the old BrickFest and the new BrickFest. Not affiliated, no way in shape, but there used to be an event called BrickFest in DC.
Correct.
And Todd came out of his dark age, and he found out that there was things called AFLs and that there was things called BrickFest, and he went to it. And his first year at BrickFest was the last year of BrickFest.
Nice.
And he was so devastated to know that he's just entered into this arena and it's like crumbling before him. And there was reasons why they were ceasing BrickFest, financial stress, I mean, all kinds of things. Right. And they've been doing it for years. And he was like, it's funny because he says it in the podcast. He's like, I cannot let this party die. And so like he just stood up and said, I will make an event the same weekend and we'll keep it going. And hopefully no one's offended. Hopefully people know that I'm doing it at a place of I want this to continue. I don't want to take over, but I will because no one else is.
Right.
And BrickFair was born from the ashes of the first BrickFest in the same location, in the same weekend,
that's beautiful.
in the same area, and it was luckily totally embraced by the community. Like they just kept going and it kept growing. So like it's almost as if it never skipped a beat, but just like all of a sudden, you know, after many years, it just poof changed it to a new name, and it was just it went on and you know, there was a couple people involved with the old BrickFest and a husband and a wife team. I don't believe they're together anymore, but they still, in different ways and alternating years, they still go to BrickFair too sometimes. So it's kind of cool to see them still there. So, but it's got a fun history.
That's fun. So you're going to display, and you're
gonna display.
Yeah, and you've been to 100 of them.
Yeah. Yep. This one should be good though. Hopefully, I'm looking.
Are you on the team like you were in Alabama?
So I am in a different way.
Okay.
So before in Alabama, I was kind of more in the like very logistical, hands-on, like where do we put this pipe? Where does the drape go? Where do the tables get set up? This time, in addition to the graphic design needs, I am still involved, but in a different way. So now I'm looking at more of the marketing potential of the event, social media, needs or desires, really trying to kind of continue to evolve the event. That's kind of the goal. And so, and luckily I have someone like Todd that listens to me.
That's number one.
That's a helpful thing.
Yeah.
And he asked me too. He's like, you've been to every one of these across the country. You've seen them for years and years and years. You know what works. You know what doesn't work. What do we do to keep this event growing? And so one of the things that I told him, which I wanted somebody to kind of experiment into it, and I think Chad at BrickFest has done a little bit of it, where he's like invited like the 501st and kind of tapping into this Comic-Con culture, kind of pop culture thing, because Lego is pop culture, whether people want to admit it or not. It is. Totally now it is.
Yeah.
And I've been like, from a distance, from an observational standpoint, I've been thinking, man, someone needs to tap more into that. Like, what are the lessons you can learn from that and bring it into these Lego events? Because I think that's just the last little bit that's missing. Yeah. And so that's some of my contributions to this year's BrickFair Virginia. As I said, how can we take little bits and pieces from that world? So one of the first things that we did that BrickFair has never done is there are official special guests. There's never been special guests that have been called out like that before. It's just kind of everyone's in. We all have fun. If you want to talk, you talk. If not, not. And then you all go home. So I said, I asked Todd, I said, let's try it. Let's just see what happens. And so I helped lock in all 5 of them. So all 5 of those were hinkled into BrickFair, as the term is now. But I think all 5 of them offer super crazy, insane value and stuff that are interesting. And so, of course, all 5 of them have different degrees of, things that we can do to help get them there. Whether that's, financial compensation, whether that's accommodating hotel, maybe it's food. I mean, everyone has different things that they need to kind of help them get there. But so they're all special certainly for what they've done and what they can bring to the event. And so we've wanted to call them out. We want to advertise them. We want to share with everybody that they're going, and then do a little bit of what we can to help them get there. Mm-hmm. So the first person we actually locked in was a professional actor.
Oh, you gotta love that.
And it's from one of the most unlikely sources. But I said, you know what? I'm just going to try it and see what happens. It was my first one. It was the first, let's put the bullet and let's just see. We're going to fire and see what happens. So Lego Galador.
Mm.
So Galador has kind of an infamous spot. You know, people hate it. Some people think it's charming. Some people just don't care. It's just another
People
Lego.
have to have the action figures or dolls, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, or whatever you want to call them. I personally had never owned a single one, but
Yeah.
I knew of it because it's kind of got this place in Lego history.
Mm.
But Galador had a TV show. It had a television show that accompanied the products. And we were able to lock in the actor who plays the main character of Nicholas Bluetooth. He's an incredibly awesome, kind individual named Matthew Ewald, and he is going to be there. So he's going to be there. He's actually incredibly excited. He's like he still acts. He acts to this day. He acts and does a lot of different things. Surprisingly enough, a lot of the stuff he does is kind of like horror flicks.
Hey.
He's like, yeah, I played Nicholas Bluetooth and then I became a murderer.
I mean, I guess that's better than Flick from the Christmas Story.
Right.
Yeah, he does adult porn now.
And you know who else? That little kid from Star Wars Episode 1, like little Anakin kid who's now like in jail or something, like something crazy.
I think he sued Lucasfilms for yeah,
like teardrops and tattoos and just craziness. So yeah, he still acts, and he's coming, and like I said, he's incredibly kind, and I have not met any actors that do not charge me for autographs and charge me for photographs, and that's okay. I get it. That's the way it works.
Yeah, that's the way of the world.
Matthew's not charging anyone for anything.
Wow.
So he said he's happy to give any autographs, any photographs. He'll have the little promo. I'm kind of excited to see the promo pictures that he has, like him like on the Galador plains.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's genuinely excited to talk to anybody about anything.
Hey, Kevin, let me interrupt. Before I forget, grab that autograph for me. Grab me an autograph.
I got you. Thank
you, sir. Put it on some bricks in the middle swag and send it my way.
I'll write it down. I'm gonna add it. I have a couple other people, so I'm gonna add you to my list.
Okay, thank you. God, whew. I don't know if I dodged the bullet. I'm glad I shut you up. Sorry.
No, it's fine. So yeah, he'll be there, and he is also going to do a presentation about just his time working on the show and what he remembers. And what's funny is because we locked him in, I was like, man, I gotta, this is a rare opportunity to meet this guy who's part of it. And I feel kind of crummy because I've never played with the toys. I've never watched the show. I have no connection.
Right.
So that was a couple of months ago when I was able to lock him in as a special guest. So since then, I've watched the whole show. So I've watched the entire show from beginning to end, which is available only on YouTube. So props to YouTube.
Yeah.
All 24 episodes are on YouTube. I also have scoured the halls of eBay and have purchased all but 2 of the entire Galador collection.
My goodness.
And they're all still sealed in box.
Because nobody ever played with them.
I mean, it wasn't too expensive. I'm going to say that. It wasn't too expensive to get them all.
Goodness.
And I'm taking them all with me to BrickFair because I figured there's probably other people too that have never seen these things. They don't know what they are.
Oh, sure.
So I figured it's not going to hurt. I'm also kind of hoping that Matthew will build some with me. It's like a build Bluetooth, build Nicholas Bluetooth with Nicholas Bluetooth. I think that'd be kind of insane.
Yeah, what do they call it now? Inception? That'd be Bluetoothception. Yeah.
That would be Inception. I mean, I just think that'd be kind of neat. So I kind of want to do that. So, but yeah, so he'll be there, and he's going to be there all day Friday and all day Saturday. And like I said, he's like, what's fun is that, I mean, he's just so willing to do what anybody wants to do. And so many people have reached out to me and just asked like, hey, is it okay if Matthew, like, can I get him to take a picture with me? I'm like, yeah, he'll do that. Some people are like, can I do a YouTube channel? Can he do like a quick interview with him? I'm like, yeah, he'll do anything you want him to do.
Nice.
So I think it'll be great. So he was the first first person.
I might have to do a secret live stream with you just to interview him vis-a-vis through you over there when you guys got 5 minutes downtime
between sessions.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
It's pretty cool though. It's pretty super sweet. So he was the first person we locked in, and then the second one. So as most people that follow the Lego group know, it's no huge secret. A lot of Lego employees lost their job last year in December.
I heard
about 1,500 of them.
It was some type of thing on the news, right?
It was a thing. So there was. I know a lot of people that have lost their job. One in particular is a incredibly amazing gentleman by the name of Dan Steininger. And Dan was one of only 8 official real-life Lego master builders in the world. And so somehow they thought they didn't need one of those, I guess. I don't know. But Dan had been doing that for 24 years. So he is one of those like Lego legends. He's been there so long that he just, you cut him and the bricks fall out of his arms. It's just insane.
Wow.
So Dan, now a free agent, was actively looking for opportunities to use his skills because the man's done that for 25 years. He's like, I don't, and we had some conversations and he's like, Kevin, I don't know what I'm going to do anymore. I'm like, you're going to keep doing what you're doing and you're going to do it at BrickFair now. So he's like, oh, okay. So Dan was locked in as our second special guest. And I mean, this guy, he is one of the funniest people you'll ever talk to. So in his history, his personal history, he had a lifetime as a professional clown. So he was a real life, got paid money to be a clown.
Nothing cooler.
And he also was a professional puppeteer on a TV sitcom where they the whole thing, right? With the
do we know what it was? What
it wasn't like Muppets or anything super,
right?
But he showed me photos, and I don't know who the character is.
Well, I'd like to know the name of the show because I watched a lot of television with Muppets.
But you might know.
I think I might. Yeah, I was a lonely child.
He's got some really funny, ancient promo material of him with a turtleneck and a bowl cut, holding them up. And I'm like, man,
that's beautiful.
But so he's a natural born performer. He knows how to talk to people, and he's a master builder. He's trained by the Lego company to make giant sculptures all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he's been doing. He's been doing that forever. But where people mostly know him from is that he, for at least the last 10 years, has been the go-to master builder for when a brand new Lego store opens.
Mm.
So a brand new Lego store opens, they do a grand opening celebration, and they usually build a 6 or an 8 foot tall thing. So Buzz Lightyear, Woody, Yoda, R2-D2.
The Duplo whale.
It could be that.
Yeah.
It could be that. I mean, I've seen a sea serpent at Mall of America, and Dan has been the go-to guy for that almost every single time. Right. So he has a really kind of bright lab coat that he wears. It's he has a red one and a blue one, and it has a giant Dan Lego Master Builder on the back. And the guy there's not a lot of people that can connect with both an adult and a kid like he can.
Absolutely.
He'll sit there and a little kid will come and bring bricks up to him, and he'll say how awesome it is, and he'll start juggling them in front of I'm like, this guy is just crazy.
Nailed it.
So he's going to be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So all 3 days. He's giving a presentation on Friday about how he makes giant sculptures and his process and how he does that. He's also going to help judge some contests that BrickFair is just other things that BrickFair is doing, because there's a master builder. You should probably,
why would you not? Yeah, exactly.
Skills. But then what's really cool, for the first time ever on the weekend, we're going to be building I think it's 4 feet, because if we got bigger, I think it would fall over, a 4 feet version of the BrickFair logo. So we're going to follow kind of the same standard that Dan has been working with for the stores, where you take a 2x4, take a bunch of 2x4s and blow it up to a big 2x4. And then you make a jumbo version of a model.
Nice.
So we partnered with Colonial Lug, which you might know, because
they did something similar to that at Philly.
Yeah, they've done a Liberty Bell, and they've done the Love.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but I remember.
Yeah, and I knew as soon as we locked in Dan, because Dan's no longer at Lego, he no longer has like the software to help develop, stuff like that. I said, who do we know in the community that already does this? And I said, Colonial Lug.
Yep.
So right away, I talked to Colonial Lug. Actually, when I went to Philly, Philly BrickFest earlier in this year, I went a little bit early because I had a evening meeting with Colonial Lug about BrickFair planning, which was kind of fun.
Also, I'm gonna step in here, and because it's something I know, the Colonial Lug people are some of the greatest people that I saw at Philly. I don't think I saw them this year, but back in 16, oh, they were warm, welcoming, conversating. The kids, the grown-ups, they were in it up to their eyeballs with just community spirit and Lego love.
It's amazing, and most of their group, like most of it is TFOs.
Yeah,
most of it. I mean, there's parents involved and there's mentors and stuff, but it's really almost entirely TFOs, which is incredible. Really good. But yeah, they'll be there. Colonial Lug will be there in full force, and they are they're actually really excited. Good. Because the projects they've been doing, like the Liberty Bell and all that stuff, was designed around what Dan was doing, and now we've come full circle.
Oh, that's great.
And and they were, when I said, hey, we've got a guy looking at a thing, and one of their founding members, who is now a college kid who is studying in Amsterdam, because of this opportunity, he was like, I've dreamt of working with Dan. The first time I saw him, that's why we do this. He is flying back from Amsterdam just for this weekend because they literally will be working together. So Dan and all of Colonial Lug are arm in arm building the sculpture of the logos. It's just
that's phenomenal.
Doesn't get any better than this.
I got goosebumps. I'm just saying.
Real stuff.
That is awesome.
And it was great because Dan remembered him too, because he had gone to some of his events. And he remembered he was like, there was this kid, he had really long hair. And I was like, that is Nathaniel. And he's in Amsterdam and he's coming back to build with you. And so they're both looking forward to working for the first time, like actually together with each other. That's pretty cool.
That's phenomenal.
And that was only the second special guest.
Yeah, I know. I tell you, and I just want to stop you there. I absolutely love when people get hinkled.
Right. Magic happens.
Here it is.
Try it again.
Yeah. So we're already an hour deep into this.
It's great. We can. I mean, I at least want to get through all the special guests.
Absolutely, but I think after that, we'll probably have to call it. But I'm not trying to. And don't rush. Give just as much love to the rest of them. How many special guests are there?
In total, 5.
Oh yeah. Are you one of them? Because last time I checked, you're pretty special, Kev.
I'm a normal guest.
Is that what you think you are? Okay.
I'm Norm.
Yeah, I kind of wish I was going now, like a lot. And I hope. And before let's take this little quick thing. I can't display. Like I can't be like, yo, I want to display. Can I display now or no?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, BrickFair. I think a lot of the events do this, but BrickFair will let you to the day of register to go, register to display. I mean, you can do anything. Of course, the downside is some of the deadlines for like, I want a printed brick badge. I mean, those things have passed now.
Sure.
But like, he will let people walk in and say, I want to be here, and they can
put my stuff on the table.
Yep.
So what you're saying is, if you buy my plane ticket, I can go.
Yeah.
No, kidding. I couldn't go if I wanted to.
It would be cool though, but I know, I get it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I checked the numbers. Actually, I can check it again just to see if it's changed. But the last time I looked, we were up to, let me see. There are currently 1,132 registered AFOLs and TFOLs at this
thing. And next year when I go to BrickFair, Virginia, I want to have a conversation with Todd between now and then, because I don't actually know Todd.
Right.
And I want to actually set something up to meet as many of these people and have their undivided attention as possible. Maybe, I don't know. I'm talking out of my ear right now, you guys. I'm speaking to Kevin as if we're not actually where anybody else can see this or hear this, but I'll leave it at that. I want the experience to get a hold of all of those people. I want them to know me, and I want to know all of them.
It would be funny if we actually went on the schedule and scheduled like a Bricksmith symposium, and you have like a bubble pipe, and we actually like bring in like a recliner or like a nice big ornate chair.
I like it.
And it's just a seminar like any other seminar, but you sit there in your robe, like with the pipe, and as people come in and sit down, you're like, hello, everybody. I didn't see you there. Like do this whole, like, just.
That's great.
Hello, 8 people. I'm glad you've come over here for this random thing.
Look, we got more than my live streams. Welcome.
How many of you are going to like this? Yeah, definitely.
Need you all to share.
And I've been putting a lot of pressure, hopefully not to the point where I'm annoying him, but our friend Reed has never been to BrickFair, Virginia. And the only reason why I've been pressuring him on it is because you've probably heard me say this too. I feel like at one point in your life, if you were an adult fan of Lego and you live in the United States of America, at one point in your life, you need to go to BrickCon once.
Okay.
You go to Brick World Chicago once.
And
you go to BrickFair, Virginia once.
Right.
You can find what you want to do, settle down. You can have local cons, whatever. You can go to many times. But I really think you hit that one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast, and one in the middle. You really have that's what this whole community is about, all in one tour.
Yeah.
Reed has been to 2 of the 3.
Oof.
I mean, he's only missing. That's the last one.
Okay.
Reed, you've got to finish it. You got to finish the relay. You're almost done.
There you go.
So,
So Hope Castle, you heard that.
Calling you out again.
Yeah, Hope Castle. So
we were actually talking, or I was chatting on his stream, and I was like, "Come on, Reed, there's still time." And he was like looking into it. He went on the website, goes, "Kevin, this is next weekend." I can't. I was like, yeah, well, it wasn't next weekend when I first told you.
Yeah, 6 months ago.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So we talked about the 2 out of the 5.
Right.
So the next special guest, who's actually a pretty close friend of mine, a very nice guy by the name of David Pagano. And some people know his name. Most people know him by Paganimation. That is his YouTube handle. That's his actual company. So he is a professional brick filmer. So he does Lego stop motion. He's actually really good at it.
Nice. I like when you're really good at it.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of.
I mean, it's no Kevin Hinkle production or anything.
No. But yeah, he's pretty awesome. And so he's in New York. He's based in Brooklyn, and never been to BrickFair.
You got to do better.
Definitely, been in the community. He's been to Brick World almost every year.
Oh, okay.
So he's definitely part of the community. He's been a part of the community. He's also done quite a few stop motion projects officially for the Lego Group, which is cool. I would say some of his most notable work is I don't remember when this hit, but Space Police, when it came back. That, and they had the different aliens and stuff like that. They did some stop motion commercials.
Oh, okay.
He actually animated those, and those were on television. It's like the real,
that's
commercials.
Yeah, and you've made it when Lego #1 picks you to do it and then does commercials with it, that's pretty awesome.
It's pretty good. What I would say probably his biggest body of work though is when the Lego Club magazine started a new era where they had Max, their club mascot Max. If you know, he had a knit cap. He had a weird face though. His face was weird.
Great. I love Max.
He's a cool guy. There was a animated series called Adventures with Max, if you remember.
Yeah.
And Max would do something with a new Lego theme every month or whatever. Like he'd jump through a robotic door and he'd be in wherever. He'd be in Star Wars. David animated all of them.
Wow.
Every single one he did.
That's great.
So he's good stuff. Good stuff. Excellent animator. He's written a book. So he co-authored the Lego animation book from No Starch Press to teach kids how to animate and how to apply that skill to Lego. So he is another special guest, and that was just me talking to him. I'm like, Dave, you gotta come to BrickFair.
There you go.
How do I get you to come to BrickFair? And I remember the chip that pushed us over is he's been working on his own independent film, which is a sequel to his first one called Little Guys, which is on his YouTube channel. Recommend watching it. It's not long. It's really funny. And he's been working on Little Guys 2 forever, for like 8 years. And he knows. He's well aware. He's not proud. He's like, I can't believe I've spent this long on this. And I remember talking to him, I'm like, what's it going to take? How do I get you to BrickFair? How do I lock you in? And I said, what if you get to premiere your sequel to 1,000 people at BrickFair?
That'd be great.
He goes, that might be a thing.
That might be a thing.
So let me get back to you. And then after a couple weeks or whatever, he's like, all right, I'll come to BrickFair and I'll show my film. And I was like, yeah. And so he's been frantically working to finish his film. Like, I gotta have it done. So after the opening ceremonies on actually on Thursday or Wednesday. Wednesday is the opening.
Wow. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's a 5-day event. God, that sounds like fun.
The early bird meet and greet is tomorrow night. Like that's crazy.
That's great.
And so David is he can't be on the weekend. So his schedule just doesn't allow him. So he'll be there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
No, it happens.
It happens. So opening ceremonies are Wednesday night. After the opening ceremonies, David will show Little Guys, and then he'll premiere Little Guys 2 after it. So everyone's like, all right. And I actually have another prop.
I love some props. As Kevin walks away from the screen again, I like to thank everybody for coming out here and watching this here video of Kevin A. Hinkle, forever sorting the BrickFair edition.
Special edition. This is a little guy. Little Guys, www.paganimation.com.
That's great, man.
And I've had this for so many years, but when he did his first film, this is it's like a toy commercial is what it is. And this is the toy that they were selling. So he sold these. You could buy these as little kits, and I bought 2 of them. And when I first met him, one of the first things I said, could you please autograph my little guy?
There you go.
So he drew this little picture of the old man. So good stuff though. But so he's there. He'll be there. That's our third special guest for his very first BrickFair. And then the last 2 actually kind of come together.
Oh, I like that.
But they both have very impressive histories.
Do
they do. They do indeed. So the 4th special guest is very important to my heart. And someone who has not stepped foot in the AFL community since 2012.
That's 6 years, man.
A long time.
That's a long time.
Like not at all. Not in any way, shape, or form. Wow. But he was a founding member of Wamalug. He was a founding member of Penlug. He was a founding member of Delvalug in Delaware. He was a member of Cowlug in Colorado. He was a community manager for Lego Universe when the game was being developed in Universe. And he was also the man who hired and trained me how to be a community manager when I moved to Connecticut.
Oh.
So before this, I love saying this because it's just this, I think this drives home the story. Is a lot of people in this community know me because they knew me when I was a community manager for Lego. That's how they met me. I was the voice of Lego coming down from the mount.
Right.
And I did that for a long time. I did that for almost 7 years. But before I did that, Jim Folds did that. and Jim Folds is the fourth special guest.
Yay!
I did that for not as long as I did, because he was actually working for Lego Universe for 2 years, and then he transitioned to the official Lego brand for 3. So he was a community manager for 3 years. But this man, he's been in the community for decades. He has seen lugs be born. He has seen them fall apart. He has seen them blow into pieces. I mean, he's seen everything. He was a huge mentor to me. He still is. We never stopped talking. We've talked ever since then. Like I said, it's also the man who trained me. He's the one that taught me how to listen to fans, how to communicate with fans, how to treat them with respect. And it's incredible. And so when he left Lego in 2012, he was a little burnt from fans and just all of it. And so I remember talking to him, and before he moved out of Connecticut, he had said that he was going to take a break, and he didn't know how long it was going to be, but he was just going to take it. And I was like, all right. He's also the only person, I haven't seen many, but he's the only person's Lego collection that I've seen that like made me like audibly gasp. Like it was beautiful. It was a thing of beauty. He inspired me to do all this.
Good.
So,
That's what you got back there.
Exactly. But unfortunately, his break has lasted a long time. Like he is not at all stepped foot back into the community. Not on forums. Not nothing. He's just gone. And so we had lunch a couple months ago. So he was coming to Connecticut. He lives in Pennsylvania now, where he's from. So he went back to Pennsylvania. And he had lunch with me, and we talked about BrickFair. And what am I doing with BrickFair? And of course, I go, what do I need to do to get you to come to BrickFair?
There you go.
And he was like, I don't know. I haven't been, I'm like, I know. So I'm asking. And he's like, well, I'm working on a new thing. I mean, I've been waiting, patiently waiting, and I've been doing a lot of planning. I'm doing a thing, and I'm not alone. I have a partner that I'm doing this with. The partner too. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right. He's like, so I don't know, maybe. He's like, maybe it's the time. Maybe it's finally time to come back. And I was like, okay, let me know. And I really wanted to, but I was like, it's probably not going to happen. I said, I probably planted a seed for next year. I'm thinking that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, maybe 2019. I'm going to.
Good for you, Kevin. I mean, yeah, that's the way to be.
That's what I was thinking. And so then, so without revealing the next special guest, because I want to kind of keep them separated. Yeah. A few, maybe a month later, I got a text message, and he's like, "We're in for BrickFair," and I was like, "No!" And I sent a message. I didn't even tell Todd about that because, like I said, I wasn't really confident that I was gonna bring him in for this year. So I thought, if anything, maybe I was just kind of seeding the ground. And I sent Todd a message, and I said, "Guess w... is coming to BrickFair?" And he knows. Like I said, before me, there was him. Yeah. And I go, "Jim Folds is coming," and it had like the little ... on my phone for a long time. And his response was, "No shit." Like that was like I was like, yeah. Yeah, it happened. He's like, "I can't believe you did that." And I was like, "I did it. It happened." So his partner, also equally as important and as awesome. So Megan Rothrock is her name, and she's also a published author. She also used to design products for the Lego Group. So she was an ex-product designer, used to live in Billund. She has written several books since then called the Lego Adventure Book series. So these are big hardcover books, and 3, I think, so far, where it's like you build stuff in the book and like gives you lots of instructions and stuff like that.
I like books like that.
And she's also from the community. So she is originally from California.
Okay.
I don't remember which lug, and California's a big state, so I can't start at it. But so she came from the community. She was active. She was a lug member. Moved over to Denmark to design Lego products. and then ended up, leaving Lego and then writing book series. So they have joined forces, Jim and Megan, to launch a thing. And they haven't told anybody what the thing is.
Wow.
So BrickFair is when the thing will be unveiled.
Wow.
So they're like I said, they both have equally awesome histories of themselves, but they are partners on this venture. So they're a 2-for-1 package.
Good grief. That seems like a whole lot of greatness.
It's too much, right? It's like I can't handle it.
Yeah.
So special guest number 4 and 5, Jim and Megan, they'll both be there Thursday, like half Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And they'll be doing a presentation for the fans on Friday of what we've been up to for the last several years. And then they will have also a booth for the public on Saturday and Sunday because they are ready to unveil this to the world. I'm like, all right, I'm ready to see it. And they've been subtly advertising it on social media because they have Twitter accounts and stuff like that, saying we're ready to share what we've been doing at BrickFair, and it's pretty exciting.
That's excellent.
So that's all 5 of our special guests.
That's beautiful.
They're all of them are amazing. They're all super, super awesome. I'm hoping that people kind of like this approach with BrickFair. If not, then that's okay too. But I really wanted to try kind of doing it this way and see what happens. So far, from what I've been spying on forums and stuff and reading, people really like it. They're like, I like this approach. I like special guests and calling them out. And and even some people were like throwing names, like, oh, I hope next year they get this guy. And I'm like, I'll take notes. Like I will.
Hello.
Over here.
Let me know when my name comes up. Okay, just.
So it's pretty awesome.
Well, that is great, man.
And then outside of that, I mean, push all that aside. Lego itself also has decided to send people to BrickFair this year, which is cool. It's always nice when they actually send folks over, and it's especially been kind of who knows what would have happened this year. I mean, with the whole shakeup that they've gone through, the community teams kind of hacking and slicing and dicing. No, we weren't really expecting anything. It's like, well, we're going to do our own thing. But now that the dust is a little bit settled, there's a couple things that are happening. They are sending an official product designer. So a current product designer is coming. I don't recognize the name, so I don't know. But I think it's pronounced Yanko, I think.
Sounds good to me.
I'm assuming it's real. Assuming it's a real person.
Right.
So of course, the product designer will give the typical, these are the things I've designed, here's the stuff. And of course, they'll provide autographs on sets that they've designed. There's also 3 other product designers that are coming for fun. So they're not there in official capacity. They won't have Lego logos on their chests and stuff like that. But they're huge. 2 of them are huge Galador fans. When they heard that the actor was coming, they're like, "We're coming to BrickFair. We have to.
We're doing this. Forget it."
And then the other one is kind of from the Bionicle community. And he has just been going. He's from Germany, and he's just been coming to BrickFair, Virginia every year for as long as he can remember. Nice. As a member of the community. So now that he's a product designer, that doesn't change how he feels about the event. So he still flies over every year. So that's kind of cool that we have those. And then we also have Kim Thompson, who Kim used to be a community manager for like online sites, like YouTube channels and stuff like that. Okay. Now that Lego doesn't have community managers anymore, I don't really know what his title is, but he's still doing things.
Nice. Good for him. I'm glad he's got a thing to do.
It's good to do things, so he'll be there. I'm looking forward to seeing him again. Me and him, I mean, we were really close for a number of years because for a while there, it was like Kevin and Kim run the world is what it was, because like Kevin was in charge of everything on this side of the Atlantic and Kim was in charge of everything on that side of the Atlantic. I see. So we were like fellow community managers forever. But he'll be there. He has a presentation and stuff. I'm still debating how much heckling I want to do. It could be too dangerous. Like, no, don't sit here at all. But he'll be there. And then also there's going to be an official Lego store there too. So it's the first time that Lego will have a pop-up retail store inside of a Lego fan event.
Wow.
So
That's phenomenal.
they have the space, which is crazy. So square footage wise, BrickFair Virginia is the largest venue out of all of them. So they are at 130,000 square feet.
Beautiful.
It's crazy. It's insane. So everything is happening. Everything's going down this weekend.
Sounds like honestly, I've talked to you in length about different cons and stuff like that. I am more excited about this one than I have been in a very long time about going to a con.
And you're not even coming.
No, I'm not coming. No, I'll be there 19. I'll be there in 19.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll do a collab build. You and I will do something. We'll put something together.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really think anyone would enjoy it. It's just it's.
I think so.
And the other thing too is location wise.
Yeah.
It's in a really good location. Like it's
only 10 hours from my house.
What's that?
It's only 10 hours from my house.
Well, I mean, not that location wise, but when you get there, it's this like massive parking lot, and the hotel is here. You just walk across the parking lot to the venue.
That is nice.
Maybe 5 minutes.
Nice.
You don't even need a car. And then in that same giant parking lot is a Walmart. So if you need to grab whatever you want for your room or whatever, again, in that like shopping center, every fast food place you've ever imagined.
I do enjoy that with Philly BrickFest.
Having stuff around you.
Right there, the quick walks, the stores that you need. You do have to drive to Wawa, but that's okay.
And I actually was so like delightfully surprised with that this year, because when I went to Philly in 2014, all that stuff wasn't developed. It was like,
wow.
Like it was like you could tell something was like there was a bunch of bulldozers and like the highway stuff was there, but none of that stuff was there. Like I remember actually being kind of frustrated how little food there was back then. I was like, where am I going to eat?
Right.
And I remember talking to like Chad about how like everything was being developed and they were going to be putting a lot of money into it. And I was almost like, I didn't recognize it when I went this year. I was like,
beautiful thing.
All these restaurants and stuff. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Absolutely. I think, Kevin,
that's enough.
I think we're pretty close to enough. I want you to, I got you back up there again. I took you off, but showed you my face so that everybody can see how serious I was about ending this. But I want to thank you again, Kevin, for doing this special event. You're 3 minutes away from being the same day that you're going to leave. That's exciting. You can thank Kevin for that one. But for real quick, what's the website they can get a hold of BrickFair?
Yep. BrickFair.com.
There you go, folks. So if you're in the area, if you hear the sound of my voice and you're watching this and you're like, I need something to do Saturday, go.
Yeah, just come by. There's one of the coolest things that BrickFair does for the public is kind of to play on the whole fair concept. Is he has a bunch of like carny games that are all Lego-fied. Nice. And it's really fun.
Absolutely.
So the whole throw the ping pong ball into the goldfish bowl, but it's all Lego. And if you get it in, he pours the whole cup of Lego into your bag, and that's what you win.
Sexy.
There's claw machines that get Lego pieces out of the game. I mean, it's all Lego-fied. There's a lot of really cool public Lego things.
No, it's even more than just get special speakers and Kevin's artwork.
Yeah. And I mean, amazing things that people have built that you get to see. I mean, it's cool stuff
too. All right, that is excellent. I'm enamored. Kevin did it. Kevin sold me. Good job, Kevin. Proud of you.
Thank you.
I guess we're going to end it here. Thanks for coming, everybody, and I hope you enjoyed the special BrickFair edition of Forever Sorting with Kevin A. Hinkle. I'm Brick Smith. When you get to BrickFair, you tell them Brick Smith sent you.
There it is.
And find somebody at the BrickFair
and tell me.
Don't count Kevin. Find somebody in a BrickFair shirt.
Yeah.
with a collar on it that looks like they're running stuff and be like, Brick Smith sent me. And that actually has happened, Kevin. Just I'm tooting my own horn here. I got a text message from somebody. They signed up for something, and I told them to make sure they said, let them know that Brick Smith sent them.
Yeah.
And the person's like, they said Brick Smith sent them. So
that's
appreciate
awesome.
it when you guys do that. Let everybody know that I'm here.
And
yeah. But anyway, with that said, again, I'd like to thank Kevin A. Hinkle for his wisdom and understanding of the Lego community. Todd, good luck with your event this weekend. Brick Smith is a fan, even though we haven't actually spoken in person, but you got Brick Smith on your side. And with Brick Smith comes the Pink Bucket Nation.
boom.
So remember that. I'm Brick Smith. That's Kevin.
Kevin.
Remember, you got to love those bricks. Bye, everybody.
Bye.